go there and then get our man on the beats, Eric Mawena Egbeta, who has been there since it started. The procession is heading towards the Bank of Ghana as we speak. So we'll go there for more details. Now, a few out of the thousands of Ghanaians have joined the Occupy BOG demonstration to demand the removal of the governor of Bank of Ghana and the two deputies. The minority in parliament, which is leading the protest, is accusing Dr. Ernest Addison of superintending over alleged act of corruption and mismanagement of the country's reserves, resulting in a whopping 62 billion CD loss. They have also cited the construction of a new headquarters for the central bank during an economic downturn, among others, as part of the reasons for the protest. Now, the march, which kicked off from the former Obra Sport near the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, is expected to end at the Independence Square. Now, the organizers say they will march to the Bank of Ghana to present a petition to the governors despite the police designating the central bank as a security zone and a no-go area for the protesters. KCL Atuforsen, the minority leader, strongly makes the point about why they intend to get the Bank of Ghana at all costs. He addressed the crowd ahead of the start of the protest. We'll go to KCL soon, but I think that we should go on the grounds where Eric Mawena Egbeta is right there, giving us more details on the Occupy Bank of Ghana demo.
To the government that on this day that we are demonstrating, we the women here are saying that they should remove the tax on sanitary pads. I am a rural MP from Adan, and I know what the girls go through when it comes to menstruation. So please, government, listen and stop these tax issues on sanitary pads. We are getting worried. The problems are many. You can see that Ghanaians are angry. Look at this demonstration. Look at how they have come out in their numbers. It tells you how the anger in Ghanaians. Please, we all need a change that will bring peace, a change that will fight corruption, a change that will bring jobs, a change that will bring security. We need a change that will repair our roads, our hospital, water. We need water in our communities, our rural communities. Look at the money spent in Bank of Ghana. The government she should just resign and give way. We want a new government to come and take charge so that they can put this in order. We are fed up, we are tired, and everybody is crying. Before I will get here, people are saying we are coming on our own. We are MPP, but we are joining this demonstration because we are fed up. The fight, the confusion among them is becoming unbecoming. And look at what the stage we have gotten to. How did we get here? We should fight and make sure we kick this government out because they are already confused. Whether Baumia, whether Ken, whether whoever. What we are saying is they should go. They should leave this government thing and go and allow people who work. We want John Dramani Mahama to come and continue his good work. That's all we are crying for. Because we saw what he did and we have seen what you have done, and they have done nothing. They cannot account for anything. This is the time for them to be commissioning projects. But where are the projects to commission? Because there is no project to commission, it has turned to fight and they are fighting. So they should go.
Right then, that's the Honorable Comfort Doyo Kujo as well, speaking to us. The Pruis MP as well is here, Dr. Kwamna Donko. All the women are here as well. So perhaps I'll just pick quick thoughts on the sanitary tax as well, just briefly, what the concern is.
We think the government is taxing us for being women. Why do you tax a sanitary pad and even label it as a luxury item? This is a necessity. And then we are rural MPs. We have a number of girls who are in our constituency that cannot afford a 3-square meal. Talk of a 20 cedis per month, every month buying sanitary pads. I think the government is not being fair with us. So what we are calling for, all members of parliament that are women, what we are calling for is government should remove the luxury tax from sanitary pads, So it makes it affordable, and then he should make it accessible for the young girls to have access to. That's what we are saying. Already we are struggling with our financial whatever, and the women are supposed to be struggling with period poverty as well. I don't think he's being fair with us. That is why we are on the streets today. The main purpose is not about sanitary pads, but when things go well at Bank of Ghana, I am sure things will get better in the markets as well. So we are adding our voices to stop taxing our sanitary pads. Thank you.
In addition to that, I also want to say that in case the government is not aware, when they get to most of the rural communities, in fact, even the urban most populated areas, the girls are being asked to exchange sex for pads. So if you want to control population and you are not looking at the things that affect your people, but you are just listening to yourself and your stomach, then by the time you realize you are all alone. What we want to tell the government is that the girls are suffering. They should take away the luxury tax because menstruation is not luxurious. So they should take away the luxury tax and let the girls be free. We want to be women. We want to be proud as women. It is the responsibility of the government to make sure that both sexes live up to expectation and live comfortably and perform their roles and responsibilities as citizens comfortably. They should take off the luxury tax.
And so that's the argument made forcefully that the luxury tax on sanitary products be removed. Perhaps you have the final say on this as well.
Yeah, I support what my colleagues have said, but I want to hit hard on the La General Hospital. My name is Rita Nordolisiwa, the MP for La, and my people are suffering because they demolished the hospital in 2019, cut sword in 2020, promised to reconstruct it in 2 years. What do we see now? When we are sick, we don't know where to go. There's a polyclinic there, which is woefully inadequate. We have a voter population of 126,000. How can we attend the polyclinic? And so we are calling on government. Parliament approved a loan of 68 million. Where is that money? Now they say they are going to do Agenda 111. So they are changing the drawings, the original drawings to Agenda 111. With that, we have not even seen anything. They brought a bill, something to Parliament for tax exemption on equipment they are going to use for the reconstruction of the hospital. We supported the tax exemption up till now. They have promised us in November they are going to start the reconstruction. The people of Dadekotopo need their fair share of health facilities as part of the people of Ghana. So we are calling on the government, and if they cannot build it, we know that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has done it before, when he comes, he's going to build the hospital for the good people of La. And so to the people of La, we are saying we don't need them in our constituency anymore because they have taken over our lands. Look at the trade fair. Look at a whole thing is happening in Dadekotopo. And so we are supporting this demonstration because if they said the Bank of Ghana has run at a loss, and then the loan that they took for the La General Hospital, so where is the money? They should tell us.
We've heard that the health minister has been to Parliament. Is it the case that he's not been able to offer explanations? Because you asked the question, where is the money? Has he not been able to provide these answers to you as the Member of Parliament for the area as well?
On the floor of Parliament, initially he said they needed to get insurance for the contractor. And then later on, he said they needed exemption. And so he comes with lies all the time. And now they don't even have the money. We don't know where that 68 million euro is. And we don't know where they are going to get the money for the Agenda 111. Because the Agenda 111 that they said they started in certain areas, we have not seen anything. We have not seen any photos to show that they are doing anything. You remember the Green Book of NDC? They said it was Photoshop. If it were Photoshop, today Ghanaians can attest to the fact that it was not Photoshop. So they should come clean on where the money is. Whether it's under people's beds or whether it's in their rooms, they should tell us.
Honorable, many thanks. That's Nana Doliswa, the MP for La. Dr. Kwamina Donkor is a Pro East MP as well. He's a former Prime Minister, well vexed in matters of energy. And I know we're talking largely about the Bank of Ghana and the losses posted as well. But from where you sit, maybe I want to ask a question specific to the energy sector.
No, I'm the ranking member of State-owned enterprises.
On state falls directly under you as well. not just the Bank of Ghana. This weekend, there were conversations in relation to BOST, and not just BOST as well, but the continuous losses by state-owned entities over the last few years. For you, as the ranking on this committee, how worrying is it, first of all? And then maybe the revelations that some monies were used to procure phones for board members and senior managers of BOST to monitor and supervise some other things at the facility as well.
Well, I would want to particularly talk about the Bank of Ghana. Remember, we were in this country when the Bank of Ghana withdrew the licenses of a number of banks for poor liquidity positions that they didn't have adequate working capital. Today, as we speak, the Bank of Ghana has negative equity. Negative equity. And what that means in business is that the Bank of Ghana is not a going concern when you use the going concern principle. So when the Bank of Ghana as the regulator and the central bank has negative equity, and yet this institution is charged with the monetary policy of the Ghanaian state. When you have a bankrupt institution responsible for your monetary policy, then the economy is in dire straits.
They made the argument that the Bank of Ghana doesn't have to be solvent to carry out its policy functions. It's an institution that's primarily responsible for policies and the likes. They don't need to have a ton of money in their reserve in any way or form to be able to carry out their functions.
That is pathetically false. The Bank of Ghana is not only a regulator of the banking sector, but it is also the bank to the government, and it's also the bank of the last resort to commercial banks. And therefore, if you are not liquid, how do you serve as the bank of the last resort? So that is pathetically untrue. The Bank of Ghana has messed up. The governor and his senior management team should at the very minimum resign on principle for having let the good people of Ghana down. We have inflation at close to 40%. The Bank of Ghana is responsible for monetary policy. We have interest rates in the 30s. The Bank of Ghana is responsible for interest rates. If this is not abysmal failure, I don't know what abysmal failure is.
On the subject of resignation, it's not a thing that is characteristic of Ghanaian leadership. You're making the call on them to resign, but we know that their tenure of office is protected by the Constitution. Is there a cause of action beyond this should they fail to resign? Because there are those who even make the argument that this protest is belated, as the momentum may have died off from the time you gave the ultimatum.
Look, their tenure is protected by the Constitution on condition that they perform. They perform as expected by the Constitution. If you are not performing, if you are letting the good people of Ghana down, there's no protection for you under the Constitution. The Constitution expects you to perform and live up to your responsibility. And that is the most important thing. The management of Bank of Ghana have not lived up to their responsibility. They've let the good people of Ghana down. They've let the farmers down. They've left traders down. They've left industrialists down. And they must go.
All right, then. That's the Pro East MP, Dr. Kwabena Donkor. I appreciate that you could speak to us as well. And so they've been standstill for quite a while now as they are allowing the protests to continue. And we'll be getting a bit more thoughts again from some members of the NDC minority as well. But let's just break the bridge a bit and perhaps speak to a market woman who's is covered in all red on her head. Mommy. Hello.
Yeah, demonstration of
on this frequency 92.7 3 FM.
We're live on the grounds of the Occupy BOG protests. As you can hear, or earlier as you heard from Mawina Egbeta, where he was speaking to a few people on why they are part of the protesters. He has also spoken to a few NDC stalwarts there. But earlier, he did speak to some of the NDC members. He even spoke to Kaysel Atuforsen, who is the minority leader who strongly makes the point about why they intend to get to the Bank of Ghana at all costs. Of course, we know that they are marching to present a petition to the governors of the Bank of Ghana to get them removed. And they have been moving from the Obra spot and are headed or are making their way to the BOG. So let's listen to Kesa Lato-Forson when he addressed the crowd ahead of the start of the protest.
Demonstration itself will end there. But the leaders of the demonstration, led by my good son and the NDC minority leadership, will have to be given the opportunity to present our petition to the government. Until we see Governor Addison, the president, we will not go to the demonstration today. We will not go to the demonstration today until we see Governor Addison. We want you to prepare the governor, the president, and his two deputy presidents to be ready and to receive our petition. But when we get there, we will read the petition to their hearing and demand their immediate resignation. We have also today, through Honorable Ayariga, petitioned the special prosecutor. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by saying that my speech will be delivered at the entrance of the Bank of Ghana by any time.
That is Kesa Lato-Forson, who is the minority leader. He was speaking to protesters before they made their way to the BOG headquarters. Now, of course, amongst other things, the minority have cited the construction of a new headquarters for the central bank during an economic downturn as part of the reasons for the protest. They are calling for the removal of Ernest Addison, who is the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Now, chairman of the opposition NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, he reiterated their resolve to end at the Bank of Ghana at all costs.
Bank of Ghana, a security zone, a diabe, a nuti, Sakram for and Timim Kopam or more. Mama Montia said, Yadani Bank of Ghana, and the Yabia, a from four, a Kobok and Kwa, Mudio Manewa. You declare a hot crime scene. In other words, if you allow a security zone to be a haven for criminals, we have the right to declare that security zone a crime scene, and we will go there and charge the criminals. Yadicrata, El Comandipa, Yadia Juma Manu Saonya, or Sano, Nayana, Hotre, Yadicrata, El Cosano, Sayan Chicho. Yanjay near sea, Nipa, or say so. Yadicrata Keke, question inside. Now say a security zone, and the Obetitia. Now the engineer.
And that is chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia. We have our men on the ground, Eric Mawene-Egbeta, as well as Komla Kluche, out there to give us details on what is currently happening. We have Komla on the line to tell us how far the procession has been, where they've gotten to, and what the situation is on the ground.
Let me go to the 19th, which is the concluding part. That through this Occupy BOG protest march, we will call on the governor and his two deputies to resign now for a new team to be appointed as a matter of urgency to fix the mess. Now, the governor Addison printed of money is like alcoholism. The perceived food effect comes immediately, and the hangover comes after the party. You printed money to finance the champagne lifestyle on a petition project of the Kufuor Bawumia government. Today, Ghana is on its knees. Resign now. Thank you. Signed, Dr. Kesa Lato-Forson, the minority leader. So, trust me, this is the exclusive petition that we have And now you can see from the shot now, they're moving in their numbers, all right in front. This was the road where the contention was. But you can see them in your shot over there, moving gradually. The numbers, well, a good number of them are out there, and you can see that the numbers keep increasing. We have seen also a good number of people demonstrating on the motorbike. They are even far ahead of me, somewhere around the cathedral side. We're just going to turn a little bit for you to see if you can get them over there. This is how the numbers look like towards the cathedral side.
Right.
And when it comes to the opposite of it, this is what the numbers look like. Those who are coming from
right.
So that is what is happening currently on the grounds. Komla Kluche is our reporter who is there to give us live updates on what is happening at the Occupy BOG demo, which is underway. The procession, as we've heard, has moved from the Obrasport and making their way to the BOG headquarters. Now, a few out of the thousands of Ghanaians, they have joined the Occupy BOG demonstration to demand the removal of the governor of the Bank of Ghana and the two deputies. The minority in parliament, which is leading the protest, is accusing Dr. Ernest Addison of superintending over alleged acts of corruption and mismanagement of, the country's resources.
Achimswedro constituency, far from here, that I came here, because what is going on in the country, we all are not happy about it. How can Bank of Ghana, boss man can can here because baby I'm free banner na mentime kamaje ne akoso o man no yedina ya bonyo so youth na ebre adentin ya be pakis ka gudem ne afengu bank ne afemmo youth na besia ne nya bi nya adwuma o man no ya ebre TV3 nya mensira mo sam wa ha na mo support ya match se mo dwen o man no youth ne ya ebre onanado ya ebre wan kasa o man panu ku foba out ebe kansai ama youth ni akoma to yeyem ebra so sound so beba be kasa ni akoma to yeyem adentina Bank of Ghana be twist na parliament be kasa omuni mo he we say corruption e koso no anu odin oba be se to me awie ska gu ne dem sanitation minister we ska gu dem to me provide to me provide dustbins Emma Ghana etsi Emma Accra higher needs. Sisi youth ni ewie school every Accra sia yanko Kumasi ani e ba Accra.
Baumiani Kenyo Foriata, Akwasi Akwanta, Duxo Foriata, Henrietta, Chatata for no kwa na edisikano na ho kire ye bre. Enti yasam no se sesika twitwi de se yatumi ayila o Bank of Ghana. Ehun ya so mbetena obi onti end product no Addison must go.
So those are a few protesters there. They are talking about the reasons why they decided to join the protest. They are mentioning how there's youth unemployment. They are mentioning the situation with Cecilia Dapa. They are mentioning how millions of Ghana cedis cannot be accounted for. They are mentioning how they are finding it difficult to live their daily lives because of economic hardship. And they're saying that's the reason why they decided to join the demonstration. Now, from one protest to another, we are going to Ashaiman, where there is another protest happening where our reporter, Joseph Armstrong, is based. He's going to tell us exactly what is going on. Armstrong, can you hear me?
Yeah, Aisha, I can hear you.
If you can hear me, tell me what is going on in Ashaiman currently.
Yeah, Aisha, so the concerned citizens just petitioned the assembly of four roads here in Ashaiman. They've been demonstrating since morning, and earlier there was some disagreements as to which route they should use, which led to some confrontation between them and the police service, leading to one police officer getting injured and being sent to the hospital. The police also then went after the protesters and managed to arrest two people who they currently sent to their station. And from there, they managed to control the crowd, and as I speak to you now, they've been able to present their petition to the Ashaiman MC, who in accepting the petition assure them that all their contents are going to be met, as the protesters gave him only 2 months to start fixing the major roads within the Ashaiman municipality.
So were you able to talk to any of the assembly people? What have they been telling you?
So the protesters, for them, the issues of Ashaman bad roads has been since even before this government took over office. For them, every single inner road of Ashaman is not in good shape, and according to them, they spend too many hours driving through the potholes and also getting to their workplaces. And this and many other things, it says it is not good. They are not getting their fair share of the cake, and that they want Ashaman also to be attended to in terms of fixing of their road. We have their MP for this area, Nosnobi, also joining the protesters to add his voice to the plight the people of Ashaman are involved with.
The people of Ashaiman are asking that their roads are fixed, and they've been told that within the next 2 months it's going to be taking effect. Now, if in the next 2 months this doesn't happen, are they going to go back on the roads?
Yeah, they said in the next 2 months, if the roads are not fixed, if they don't see any action on the road, they are going to take it at the Ministry of Roads and Highways. For them, they are not going to back down on this, and no amount of intimidation from the police will stop them. They said they will march right from Ashaman here all the way to the Ministry of Roads and stay there until they get something concrete coming from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. That is the only way they can ensure that at least they have their roads also fixed.
It's quite interesting that their MP Ernest Nogbe also is part of the procession. Did you get to speak to him?
Yeah, we interviewed him earlier, and he also told us that he has been writing to the Assembly and also the Minister of Roads to attend to the needs of the people of Assam, because he is equally affected because of where he stays. The road leading to the motorway is not in good shape, and this, he says that he is equally concerned, which is why he decided not to join the main demonstration happening in Accra and decided to join his people, because first of all, you must ensure your house is in order before you go help somebody put their house in order. So he said he came to help them to have their issues addressed. And he also assured the people that he's going to make sure the MC and the Minister of Roads and Highways, within 2 weeks, he didn't even give 2 months, he said within 2 weeks, he's going to ensure that they moves in excavators and graders onto the road to see some kind of development taking place on the various roads. Aisha.
Thank you very much. And that's our reporter, Joseph Armstrong. He is in Ashaiman, where there's another protest. And that is where the people of Ashaiman said they've had enough because of their bad roads and they having to handle the situation with their cars all the time. And even their MP Ernest Nogbe had to join in to say how serious the situation is. So they've been giving... they've been told that within 2 months it's going to be fixed, and the people of Ashaiman are saying that if it's not fixed between now and the next 2 months, they're going to go back onto the road and go and picket actually at the Ministry of Transport. So our coverage of the Occupy BOG demo is going to continue on our Facebook page and then definitely on 3news.com as well. You need to stay with us here at Media General. We are going to give you more details on what's happening on the ground. We have our men, Eric Mawena Egbeta and also Komla Kluche, who are going to give us more details. My name is Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Up next is Business with Michael Obudu.
Some lawmakers.
Gets busy on this frequency. 92.7 3 FM.
Hello and welcome to Business Daily. My name is Michael Obudu. Coming up, banking consultant attributes dwindling savings culture and increase in lending rates to rising interest rates on T-bills.
The higher treasury bill rates is basically crowding out the banks from cheaper funds so that they can lend cheaper to their customers.
Also coming up, traders at Abossey Okai threatened to resist activities of Ghana Revenue Authority task force at their premises.
Ghana government has invested in such cutting-edge systems at Tema and Takoradi Port.
My name is Michael Lubodu. We'll bring you details of our headlines and many others shortly. Stay with us. Well, thank you for staying with us. And straight into our first story, as banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahene has blamed the reduced level of savings on treasury bills coupled with economic uncertainties. He was reacting to revelations by the Bank of Ghana's latest summary of economic and financial data regarding the decreasing level of interest rates on savings contrary to lending rates. The following Business Desk report has more.
With the current high level of inflation already whittling down savings, data from Bank of Ghana has revealed a decline in interest rates on bank deposits by about 2.63% between September 2022 and September 2023. It is against this backdrop that banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahene has attributed the dwindling savings culture to increasing interest rates on treasury bills.
The higher treasury bill rates is basically crowding out the banks from cheaper funds so that they can lend cheaper to their customers. Most people are not saving in the banks as such. They all decided to turn to the treasury bill rates, the treasury bills, because the treasury has a higher rate.
According to Dr. Richmond Etiahene, until inflation reduces, the real return on investment will remain negative, hence the need to create a stable macroeconomic environment.
If you invest even in treasury bill and inflation is 40%, you'll have a negative return close to about 7 or 8%. So it is very important that we bring inflation down. Other than that, a time will come, as I've said, if the interest rate, the inflation continue to persist, we might find a decrease. If you look at the deposit structure of the bank, we may see decline in the savings component of the deposit structure in a shorter or medium-term time. The banks will have no alternative because there will be reduction in the savings deposits, and that will help. The banks will have to reprice it, and definitely the lending rate will definitely go up.
That was banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etiahene, ending that report by my colleague Minu Afol. Now, leadership of the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana TAG has described the activities of the Ghana Revenue Authority's task force at the country's ports as defeating the huge investment by government. General Secretary of the group, Nana Poku, noted that the investment at the ports is to remove human interface to eliminate corruption, promote efficiency and effective operations at the ports.
The government has spent large sums of money developing customs division systems to ensure due diligence before a container is cleared, and such containers leave the port before monitoring teams tracks them outside the port for revenue realization. Then Mother Ghana is in serious trouble because the containers that will elude them, that will not be arrested, that will not be captured, that one who take responsibility of it. If he is telling us that he has been able to raise revenue out of containers that they cannot even supervise at the port, after all these systems government has put in place, he is touting himself that we should hail him and thank him. How about the number of containers that are out without his notice? Our stance is unequivocal. Ghana government has invested in such cutting-edge systems at Tema and Takoradi Port for due diligence, tax compliance, and revenue mobilization. Why so much money is being invested in customs systems? If Ghana revenue is ineffective and inefficient, if this is the case, it is past time for our leaders to take the situation serious.
Nana Poku is the General Secretary of the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana TAG. Meanwhile, the Abosokan Spare Parts Dealers Association says it will stiffly resist any attempt by officials of the Ghana Revenue Authority to carry out invigilation exercises on VAT compliance at their shops. The group yesterday closing their shops to express their displeasure. Now, speaking to 3 Business, immediate past president of the association, Clement Boateng, stated that they would only rescind their decision after efforts are made to streamline the implementation of the VAT policy across the board.
the invigilation that they've been doing in the past, it is not all traders that they've been doing the invigilation on them. There are some selected, people. But what we are saying is, since the playing field is not leveled, suspend it and let's address the unevenness of the whole VAT system. Let's address the structure of the VAT system. And after addressing it, you rope in everybody. Then the VAT must go on.
Okay.
But the issues had not been addressed, and then we are still going on with the invigilation. Okay. And that is why they called for a press conference that they are not going to allow anybody to come and sit in their shop and do any invigilation. And so therefore, they embarked on a 3-hour closure of shops. So shops reopened again at 10 o'clock. But according to them, they are saying this is a tip of the iceberg. And if GRA continue to insist that they are going to come and sit in their shops for invigilation, they are going to meet them boot for boot.
You heard the immediate past president of the Abosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association, Clement Boateng. Now, finally, a special envoy of the Global Conference on Cyber Capacity Building has highlighted the urgent need for comprehensive policies and frameworks to combat cyber crimes in Ghana. Mukhtar Yadali was speaking at the official launch of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month organized in Accra. Emphasizing the importance of international collaboration, the envoy stressed Ghana's potential to become a beacon of cybersecurity in Africa hinges on forming strategic partnerships beyond borders.
Governments across Africa must lead by example. We need a comprehensive cybersecurity policies and frameworks backed by robust legislation. Cybersecurity must become the national imperative, and sufficient resources must be allocated to protect our critical infrastructure. In unity, there is strength. We must force partnership beyond our borders.
Reacting to statistics that the financial sector is the most hit with cyber attacks, Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Nkwiboesiako, said there is the need to intensify efforts to build a cybersecurity resilient financial sector.
We have designated certain sectors of our economy as critical information infrastructure sectors. Ghana has designated 13 of the sectors. And as a country, we must intensify our efforts to improve cybersecurity resilience in those sectors, which is part of promoting a culture of digital safety.
Well, that'll be all for today's edition of Business Daily. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Lubudu. Thank you for listening as always. Please stay safe.